Hello everyone, for this video I sculpted a bust for a community challenge of the Indie Miniature Makers Collective that I am a member of. This specific challenge was a random prompt challenge with the prompt being teeth. 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 I think teeth is probably the hardest word to say for Dutch people. Making this sculpt for a community challenge made me think about how my creative process has changed over the years. For as long as I can remember, I've been working on weird creative endeavors, but I only started sharing my work relatively recently. As a kid, I had tons of creative hobbies, but I didn't share them a lot with other people. I was grinding away on my projects and I had tons of fun doing them, but growing older, I realized that it was kind of a lonely experience. A couple of years ago, I noticed that my creative output wasn't giving me the same fulfillment as it used to. I still felt the urge to create, but there was something missing. I found out what it was when I was reading Adam Savage's book, Every Tool's a Hammer. The first 8 chapters were an amazing collection of useful tips, nerdy technical knowledge, and incredibly fun anecdotes, and I read through them in no time. However, for some reason I could not get through the 9th chapter. This part of the book was about the importance of sharing your work, and it confronted me with the fact that I've been avoiding sharing my work since forever. Here is a little quote from the book that was especially difficult for me. Sharing your work announces your presence. Being vocal about your achievements is an investment in yourself. Start a blog or an Instagram account, go to cons and meetups and exhibitions, give yourself a name. I realized that what this part of the book was advocating was very scary for me for some reason. It made me see that I was working alone not by choice, but because I thought it was the safe way of working. I was subconsciously avoiding showing other people what I was working on. This realization was the reason I started this YouTube channel. Instead of actively hiding my work, I was going to do the exact opposite. I started to actively show my work to the whole world. Honestly, I think posting my first video was probably one of the scariest things I've ever done. Even to this day, posting a video is still a nerve-wracking step for me to take. But, and this is a big but, I'm still utterly amazed how much sharing my work has changed my creative process. I have received so much positive remarks, which has done wonders for my self-esteem. However, this is only a superficial effect of sharing. The main positives I experienced were the connections I made with people. I ended up chatting with a couple of people, doing collaborations, and joining the Indie Miniature Makers Collective Discord I talked about earlier. All of a sudden, there were all these people to talk shop with, share ideas, critique each other's work, and just to have fun with. The feeling of loneliness I felt slowly diminished, and I could again truly start to enjoy my creativity. Of course, there are also some downsides. While social media can be used as a tool to create social connections with others, it can also be a big energy drain if you start to look at all the numbers. The amount of likes, followers, subscribers, upvotes, views, comments, shares. These numbers can be a huge downer on my motivation to keep posting stuff. I have to keep reminding myself that these numbers are not the reason why I started sharing my creations. And while writing this script, I realized that this video is probably a tangible reminder for myself of this fact. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope that it inspires some of you to start sharing your work as well. I also want to stress that my experience is not shared by everyone. Sharing my creative output as a white man has left me with 0 negative comments or messages in the last 3 years since I started this channel. Many of the people I've connected with during these last years have had loads of negative experiences because they are either female, non-white, gender non-conforming, or in any way neurodivergent. For the record, I am neurodivergent as well. ADHD has played a huge part in the reason why I wasn't sharing my work in the first place. If you take away anything from this video, I hope that it is this. I think that everyone that shares their creative work has some level of insecurity about it in the first place. It is most likely that this is presented in such a way that this is not visible, like I try to do myself. The way you interact with what people share, the way you phrase your comment, matters. Please think twice before you hit enter. Thank you. Here are some shots of how this mutant turned out. I hope you like it. Thank you.